Today we have another Giga OP outward build for us. The Blazing Bowman. This build is a pyro archer that revolves around using support and massive burst damage skills depending on the situation that we might find ourselves in at any given moment. So if this build sounds like something that you might be interested in, then stick around and let's jump right into it. Hello friends, Sean here and welcome back to the channel dedicated to role-playing games. I need to give an important shout out to one of the Outward Discord community members. Randy CH. He literally left God's side and descended from heaven to help me sort out my OBS issues and reduced my recording stutter. This allows me to record my footage at a stable frame rate which I was never able to do before. So thank you Randy, you're at 200 IQ Giga Chad. Much love cuz. I take no credits for this build. Full credits goes to Lunabeans for working tirelessly to bring all of us this amazing build guide. So once again thank you very much Luna Beans. All of her links will be in the description of this video. With that being said, I will be quoting her quite often in this build, so I heavily recommend you go to the wiki and read it for yourself as she has put everything in an eloquent, easy to digest fashion. So to begin, I'm going to be reading the overview of this build. After that I'll follow up with the weapons, armor and faction required. After that I will touch on the active, passive, and specialist skills we will be using as well as the constant damage bonuses we will be receiving. And lastly I will be touching on the play style of this build and wrapping it up with a few final thoughts on what I did to make this build work smoother for me. And what you can do to make it work even better for you as an individual.
Carry on then.
This build is dedicated to heavy use of support tools and dots. As a dot build, there is a lot of maintenance involved in keeping track of your buffs, wounds, fatigue, corruption and most importantly, your dots. I have designed this build to deal as much damage as possible while maintaining the range of the bow. Not everything is absolutely 100% optimal as it could potentially impact the playability of the build. Please, feel free to make any changes to fit your playstyle.
Here's what you need to know.
The two weapons we will need are the meteoric bow and the chimera pistol. In our head slot we have the white wide hat. Our body armor will be the master desert tunic. Our shoes will be scarlet boots, and our backpack will be brigand's backpack. Our faction will be the heroic kingdom of Levant. Our three main breakthrough points will be shamanic resonance, survivor's resilience, bloodlust, active skills, evasion shot, sniper shot, strafing run, conjure, blood sigil, shatter bullet, specialist skills, patience, optional. If you are planning on using your bow for more than inflicting dots, I like using this skill for burst damage, but consider avoiding this passive since we do not have speedster as it will reduce the amount of damage you deal during normal attacks. Cruelty, 100% necessary for max amount of dot damage. Unsealed, optional. While this skill is optional, it will be helpful in setting up your blood sigil and multiple blood turrets. Constant damage bonuses. Alchemical experiment plus 15% all elements. Kirau axe breakthrough physical plus 15%, health plus 25, removed by unsealed. Lockwell's revelation, very tired, plus 30% all elements. Sleep, fire totemic lodge plus 10% fire. How to play. I won't go into too much detail in this section as most of you already know how to manage tiredness and corruption.
This is unacceptable.
Most of your fights will involve using only your bow as the meteoric bow is doing upwards of 60 plus fire damage if you are very tired and have your warm boon up. For any enemies immune to burning and therefore holy blaze, you will have to resort to using your other dots such as bleeding, poison, either bomb or plague. Using chimera pistol before the fight is an obvious choice to inflict elemental vulnerability. If you have the space or skill to fit it in, please do so.
Not in 1,000 years.
Before you start off fights against powerful enemies, make sure you are very tired, have some form of stamina regen, have at least discipline, blessed and warm active, as well as applying an assassin elixir to your bow. When you are ready to fight, summon your blood sigil and conjure a blood turret. Optionally lure your opponent to your sigil and use dagger slash to inflict blood leech. Afterwards, equip your meteoric bow with either palladium arrows or soul rupture arrows. Use evasion shot to inflict crippled and then piercing shot to inflict extreme bleeding. By now your opponent should be inflicted with blood leech. Optional, doomed and either bomb, extreme bleeding, extreme poison and holy blaze. All that is left to do now is swap to the arrow type you had not used earlier and fire 2 shots to inflict doomed or either bomb. Any enemy who cannot resist any of these statuses should die a swift and painful death. Please feel free to DM or mention me on Discord with any suggestions or feedback on the build battle guide. Some ending thoughts I have about this build. If you like pets, the hippo fits perfect into this build for that D&D ranger or WoW hunter vibe. If you're not fast in switching weapons from the menu, you can replace the arrows on the bar with your bow and keep your pistol out to initiate. Of course, this depends on the situation and enemy you are facing. Also, this build is totally overpowered against standard monsters you find in the open world. So sometimes it won't be necessary to use blood sigil all the time, and sometimes it's more effective to keep your dark stones for the bigger, stronger threats.
Your body has needs.
And finally, depending on the situation, you can keep your bow out instead of having the pistol ready, and I also like to use Shatter Bullet as the opener for my Chimera pistol. So with all of that out of the way, let us know in the comments what you think about this build, and if you have any changes that could improve it, drop them down below for everyone to see. If you liked what you saw, consider giving this video a like and subscribe for more outward build guides. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you to Luna Beans, and thank you all for watching, we really appreciate it. We will see you in the next one. Much love. Sean out.